Welcome to cover letter writing. When applying to a job, these are the things that you will need: a target list of employers that you want to apply to, your well-crafted one-page resume, a cover letter, and a list of references. Before providing references, please ask permission of the individuals that you would like to list. The goal of this session is to distinguish between the resume and the cover letter. Learn the cover letter format and its contents, and be prepared to create an effective, targeted cover letter. What's the purpose of the resume? It's not necessarily a historical document of everything that you've done. It should be tailored to the job, but it's the objective things. I can interview you and ask you questions. I can use your references to confirm what is accurate on that. Where the cover letter's purpose is, why are you applying? Why do your skills fit the job description and the position that they're looking at hiring for? Why are you unique fit for this job, and highlighting your transferable skills, much like your elevator pitch? What makes you stand out? So before you can go into a cover letter, you really need to understand, what are the jobs that you're interested in applying for? What are the job descriptions say? So that you can use the job description throughout the remainder of this presentation. You may want to pause here, go find a couple of job descriptions and use. After each of the sections in this presentation, you're going to want to take time to really look at your cover letter and start to build upon it. So we're going to use this job description for the purposes of this workshop. So it's a health policy internship at the Center of Budget and Policy Priorities here in California. The first paragraph gives you a description of the job and a little bit about the Center for Budget and Policy Priorities. And then it's got the qualifications. And in this case, there are 6 bullet points. Golden rule is, if you can say yes to over 50% of the qualifications, then you should consider applying. If you can say yes to 75% or more, you should definitely apply. They're not always looking for every qualification. This is kind of their wish list. This is possibly the person that just left and everything that they had. So if they could find somebody to get right in to the job, that would be great. But they're also looking for you to have an opportunity to hopefully grow. So 5 steps to a cover letter, and we'll go through each one of these. We're going to start with the header and salutation piece. The header should be the same for your resume and cover letter. So your name, or the name that you would like to be called, an email address, a phone number, geographical location if you wish, and then a link to your LinkedIn profile. So that should remain consistent. Resume, cover letter, list of reference. It's your complete package. It's your letterhead. Then the next after your header is, how do you address the cover letter? You can put the address, you can say directly who you're writing it to, their title, the name of the organization, and the address, but you do not have to, particularly the physical address. If it's a remote position, there's not one. Some people like to put the physical, just the city and the state, if the position's being hired in multiple areas, to indicate this is the one that I'm really interested in. And then next is the salutation. Please do not do dear sir or madam or to whom it may concern. Those are generic. That means you have not done any research or put any thought into your salutation. If you don't know how to address, if it's very hard to find information about the companies and who all works there, you've looked at LinkedIn, you've done some AI searching, then worst case scenario, do dear hiring manager, dear hiring committee. You could even do dear marketing team hiring committee if it's a marketing role and get a little bit more specific. But ideally, you're saying the person's name. If you don't know their gender or what they would like to be called from a gender, then doing dear first and last name is completely acceptable. Some people do know that the person prefers to be called dear Mr., then that would be the direction you would want to go into. But first and last name is what you're aiming for in the salutation. So here's an example of what the complete header and salutation would look like. In this case, we do know who the hiring person is. The person has done their research, whether it be on LinkedIn to find out who oversees the role or has an inside piece of information to be able to do so. So this would be your format. Now moving on to the opening paragraph, remembering to make yourself memorable and making it where I want to continue to read your cover letter. So really thinking about a strong paragraph to catch the reader's attention. State who you are, but not your name. It's already up at the top in your header, so it does not need to be anywhere in that first paragraph. List the position that you're directly applying to. Many companies have multiples positions. Some of them, the job titles are very similar, so you want to be sure that you're saying exactly the position. If you have done the networking that you should be doing and having conversations with people, hopefully that's leading towards where you can go to that person you've been talking to and saying, I'm applying to a health policy internship at the center. Do you know somebody I can reach out to and know so that you can put that, like I've been having coffee chats with. So here's an example of a really good intro cover letter. Growing up as an immigrant in a farming town in Oxford, I saw the inequalities firsthand in my community school and medical facilities available to my family. The center greatly interests me because of its mission to reduce social inequalities through public policy and programs deliberately designed to assist low-income individuals. So it tells a little bit of a story and why they're interested in this opportunity. The alignment between the center's mission and my professional goals is what led me to the pursuit of health policy internship. So now we know the title of the position. I'm a graduate student at the School of Global Policy and Strategy, pursuing a degree in public policy with a specialization in health policy. I understand from Rhonda Foster, an alumna of GPS, that you are looking for a health policy intern with analytical skills and a health policy background. So this person's already done some pre-homework and knows that there's a connection. The second and third paragraph, depending on your skills, you'll do one middle paragraph or you might do two, is actually tying in your relevant skills and knowledge to the position. What are your specific interests? Maybe your one paragraph is talking specifically about health policy and your second paragraph is about the organization. Maybe you need to blend the two together and that's okay. But drawing the parallels between the job requirements and your experience. Highlighting qualifications from your resume, but don't repeat. I'm going to look at your resume and go, just do you meet the standards that I'm looking for? And then why are you interested is what I'm looking for on the cover letter. So I've seen your resume. So this is, again, the opportunity to tell the story as it relates to this job. You can use the job description's words so that it pulls in, much like we talked about in the resume workshop. So continuously looking at the job card to see what's there. You've got your resume where you're also pulling that information in, then how do you tell that story? And so you've got to be able to do that. Then the concluding paragraph. You want to thank the reader. You may want to state how you're going to follow up. If this is a position in another city outside of San Diego and you are going to be visiting that city, you may want to say in this section, I will be in X city in a couple of weeks. I would love to be able to meet the team and do an interview. You want to reinforce any of the qualifications. You may want to highlight something that's unique that just doesn't quite fit on the resume and hasn't been spoken about earlier in the cover letter as part of this paragraph. And here's an example. While making use of all of the experience I've gained so far, I'm aware I will be need to prepare for work hard, learn quickly on day one. I'm also eager to make connections with professionals at CBPP from diverse backgrounds by drawing on my professional experience to share the latest in health policy. I know it will bring immediate value to the internship and the team. Thank you for your time and consideration, and I look forward to an opportunity to interview with you. Closing. So this is the last little bit of your one-page cover letter. You want to use sincerely, sincerely yours. Remember, note that sincerely yours is not capitalize the yours, only the first word if you're using a 2-word or 3-word closing. Best practices. Remember, the same header as on your resume. Font and font size should still be the same as your resume as well, so it looks like a complete package. If you were sending this via email, you want to combine the resume and cover letter and attach it as a single PDF, especially if they've given you instructions on how to even name your documents, then you want to follow those. Best practices is last name, first name, name of position. In the body of your email, though, you can paraphrase your cover letter. Just, I'm applying to health policy position. I'm very excited about the opportunity to interview. Please find my documents attached. Remember to save all the information that you send to the employer. Save the job description, the resume, the cover letter, anything that you do, because that's going to help when you do get the interview to be able to practice. So some things to remember not to do for the cover letter. Using AI to write your cover letter. You can use AI to help brainstorm, see what's missing between your resume and cover letter, but employers can read through AI and be able to say, you used AI, I'm not going to move forward. 0 spelling and grammar mistakes. And this is where you can use AI once you've written a really good cover letter to see, do you have any mistakes? No more than 1 page. Do not repeat your resume like we've mentioned before. Using words that have no meaning. Best of breed, game changer. Try to avoid those words. Avoid I hope, I feel. They're too generic. Be very specific. Focus on what you will gain as you think about this writing a cover letter. Through interning with said company, I hope to learn vital skills in project evaluation and gain experience in corporate social responsibility sector. If you were to do this as a negative, although I do not currently possess program evaluation experience, I match all of your other requirements. Or, I've just begun studying Mandarin. I hope to be able to reach an intermediate level by the summer. You don't want to use those statements. Those are negative disqualifiers. You want to be positive, really focus on what you can contribute to the organization. Recipe for success. Cover letter guide in the GPS resource library. Go look at it, download it, use that as a framework. If you need to use the Campus Writing Center, please do so. And then you've got access to the coaches at GPS. When you sign up for an appointment, make sure you're attaching your resume, the job description, and obviously your cover letter so that we can read it in advance of the appointment and maybe even start to provide some feedback and then have that conversation with you when you make the or in the appointment. So good luck writing your cover letter. Thank you.